The evening after the groundbreaking for the Salix Leaf Hotel, Lily and Rachel went home and spent some time chatting with Dorothy. Rachel was excited to be the vice president of Kevin's new company. When he came in, she got even more nervous and couldn't relax until he finally went upstairs. But Dorothy was unhappy that Kevin hadn't been a better host and complained to Lily. "Did you see that? Rachel came to visit and he didn't even bother to offer her something, not even a piece of fruit." "Oh, Dorothy, it's no big deal. I'm not even hungry." But Dorothy's attitude was very distressing for her because of how grateful she was to Kevin for her new job. "Then I'll go get you something to drink. How about some water?" Meanwhile, Kevin was lying on the bed using his phone to surf for more information on healing stones that might increase the effectiveness of his herbal medicine. Suddenly, Lily opened the door and asked, "Kevin, there's an event we've been invited to the day after tomorrow. Do you want to go?" "What event?" "The Jones family lost a lot during that whole mess caused by the Williams family. So the Blair family is getting together more than a dozen wealthy families to invest in a huge high-end real estate development. Are you sure you want me to go along?" He didn't like to have anything to do with these people. It was just that they ran in different circles. "Now that I have 60% of the Jones Company shares, I'm going to represent the family. Since you're my husband, it's only right that you should be there too. Come on, we've never gone camping like this," Lily pleaded. "How could I say no? When do we head up there?" "Tomorrow." Then she looked at the clothes Kevin was wearing and, "Do you think you could change your clothes?" "But isn't it just a camping trip? You really want me to get new clothes to go camping?" "Yup. Anyway, you won't have anything to do but be my arm candy. After all, it's my business trip." "All right. I guess I can pretend I'm your gopher. I can get you sparkling water, carry your bags, things like that," Kevin joked as he put down his phone. "Don't tell me you want people to go back to calling you a freeloader." But just as she said this, Lily caught herself. "I'm sorry, Kevin, I shouldn't have said that." "That's okay. Anyway, you're my wife. You can say whatever you want to me," Kevin said casually. It didn't hurt his feelings at all. "Then let's go right now," Lily said excitedly as she smiled and took Kevin's hand. So they headed out to go shopping together. The problem was, Kevin just wasn't used to wearing fancy clothes. He preferred casual wear. Not only was it cheaper, but it was also a lot more comfortable. Finally, after making Lily roll her eyes in frustration at least a dozen times, Kevin had no choice but to give in. He ended up buying 2 short-sleeve shirts, some pants, and 3 jackets. When he got to the register, the associate scanned the items, then smugly looked Kevin up and down before saying, "The total is $1,832. This is on me." When he heard this, Kevin smiled broadly and said, "If you insist." The next morning, as the sun was starting to rise over Lake Michigan, the Blair family sent a car to pick up Lily and Kevin at Corwin Tower. After about 2 hours, the caravan of over a dozen limousines stopped at their destination up near Rockford. "So this is where you plan to build?" Kevin whispered to Lily as they got out of the limo. "Yes. Isn't it beautiful? It cost a little over $200 million for the land. Then each family is going to spend another $45 million for the construction costs," Lily replied with a smile. Kevin shook his head when he heard her say this. He didn't think that it was a good place for a luxury housing development. There was a river nearby which was picturesque, but he wondered if anyone had even looked into the chance of flooding. As Kevin was thinking about this, he heard a familiar, annoying voice. "Kevin, what are you doing here? Did Lily finally let you out of the house?" Lily had more status in the Jones family, but Jason still looked down on Kevin. "Isn't that obvious? He must have tagged along with his wife to get free food and drinks. Otherwise, he could never afford to take part in a high-end camping trip like this." They all burst into laughter. Kevin glared at Jason but didn't say anything. It was better to ignore him. However, this teasing made Lily very unhappy. "Jason, what do you mean by that? We all came out here to have fun. If you pick another fight with Kevin, don't blame me for what happens to you." "Lily's right, Jason. You really talk too much," Matilda reminded him. Jason just grumbled and walked away. By now, a lot of them had already started to set up their tents. They were the future of the various companies involved in the business venture, and what they were interested in most of all was networking. Right at that moment, Kevin heard a lot of commotion and turned around to see Officer Emmett and Phoebe Anderson walking out of a changing room. But to everyone's surprise, the two women went straight to Kevin. "I really didn't expect you guys to get here so quickly," Phoebe said while smiling at Kevin. Lily noticed Phoebe looking at Kevin and suddenly felt uncomfortable. "Kevin, I didn't expect you to be here either. Why didn't you tell us? We could have ridden together." "Oh, I don't know about that. Remember what happened the last time we took a drive together?" Officer Emmett knew he was talking about chasing the bank robbers in his sports car. Lily wasn't sure what to think when she heard them talking like this. "Kelly, you might not know, but Lily is now at the helm of the Jones family business. Kevin only came on this camping trip because of her." "What are you talking about? Do you have to make things so awkward? Kelly, why are you still standing up for him? You're my fiancé. I'm just being honest. Also, if you keep acting like this, you may not call me that much longer." Okay, Kelly, whatever you say." But he still gave Kevin another dirty look. His father, Neil Blair, suddenly stood up and interrupted them, saying, "Thank you all very much for coming on this camping trip. I'll be brief. Have a good time and be careful." Then he added, "This is a great place to get in touch with the outdoors. You can fish down by the river, and there's small game out in the woods. It will be up to you to find your food over the next few days. We'll provide drinks and snacks. Just grab whatever you need and enjoy yourselves." They immediately broke up into cliques. Some picked up fishing rods to go fishing by the river. Others got ready to head into the woods to hunt for small game. After all, the main goal of this outing was to make friends and get to know each other. Phoebe suddenly asked, "Kevin, are we hunting or fishing?" "We'd do better at a lake. The current's too fast down by the river. The fish would be swept away before they had any chance to bite. And it's illegal to fish with a net around here. Of course, we could all afford the fine, but it just wouldn't be sportsmanlike." "So what you're saying is none of those guys will be able to catch a fish?" If Officer Emmett hadn't been there, Blair definitely wouldn't have been hanging out with Kevin. "I didn't say absolutely," Kevin explained. "Then why are you so serious? Are you just bragging?" Blair scoffed. Kevin ignored him. He turned around and said to Lily, "Let's head into the woods and see if we can catch a wild rabbit." Lily nodded in agreement. She didn't want to stay here and feel everyone's eyes on her. "Let's go," Phoebe said as she smiled and picked up a wicker basket. "Why don't we have a competition and see who catches the most fish or game?" Someone in the crowd agreed. "So what's the reward?" "Good idea. Each family will put $10 million in the pot. Winner takes all." A lot of them wanted to participate, but $10 million was a lot of money. How many of them could bet that much just for fun? Blair sneered at Kevin and Lily. His goal was clear. He was goading them to play his game. Blair had already sent some of his people ahead to set things up. The Jones family was guaranteed to lose, and he'd put Kevin in his place. "Jason, will the Jones family participate?" Lily wasn't pleased to hear this. She was the leader of the Jones family now, and this game involved a huge amount of money. Why did Blair ask Jason instead of her? "We'll think about it," Jason replied, but he didn't agree immediately. "What? Can't you make a decision by yourself? It's just $10 million. Don't tell me your family's so poor that you can't scrape that much together. Or are you as useless as the guy who married into your family?" Kevin frowned and thought to himself, "What's with this guy? Why does everything have to do with me? It's not like I did anything to him." Kevin could tell that Blair was purposely provoking Jason. As expected, Jason took the bait and said, "Don't worry, we can still afford $10 million. Then Jason turned to Lily and said, "Since Mr. Blair has kindly invited us, should we join the game?" Blair frowned when he heard the Joneses start talking with each other about Jason's response. They all knew that the decision was up to Lily. While they didn't want to back down, they also knew $10 million was a lot of money. Jason wasn't happy about this either. He thought of himself as the family representative, but as long as Lily held most of the shares in the company, he was no longer in the limelight. On the other hand, if Lily went along with the wager and lost, Grandma Jones might force her to hand over her shares. "All right, we're in," Lily replied as she gritted her teeth. "You're braver than I thought," Blair said with a cocky smile. But Lily wasn't sure this was really a good decision.
Hi, Kevin here. If you were wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Insta Empire now with the link in the description.